I knew what a woman was, not a bad.
Okay, what's the difference?
A woman.
Okay.
A bad is a person who's just, you know, girl, I'm a bad. You know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Cam Newton, a man who certainly tries to look the part every time he's in public, had some hateful comments on a hateful network.
And it's a lot of women who are bad, and I say in a way not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs.
On the show, $1 million worth of game, Cam goes off the deep end.
And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss, like I'm a this, I'm a that. No, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead.
Ah, yes, because have no fear, women around the world, Cam Newton is here to lead you. This wouldn't be the first time Cam has pulled shtick like this.
Devin Funchess has seemed to really embrace the physicality of his routes and getting those extra yards. Does that give you a little bit of an enjoyment to see him kind of truck sticking people out there?
It's funny to hear a female talk about routes, like, it's funny.
Remember this exchange with then Panthers beat writer Jordan Rodriguez? She now covers the Rams in LA, by the way.
In 2012, Newton called another female reporter sweetheart.
The only thing I control, sweetheart, is myself.
Man, he's really taking the heat off these clowns for a minute, isn't he?
My one and only response to Cam Newton's interview, and if you didn't see it, here's the gist. You can only be a bad or a true woman if you fulfill a man's needs, okay? Let them speak, so... Or you let them lead, okay? Fair enough. No, not fair enough. It's 2022, babe.
Liv Moods then entered the chat.
Wake up. Also, you've got me messed up. If you think I am doing things for a grown-ass man that he is fully capable of doing himself. I married a man, not a baby. Thank you very much. I will be a great wife someday. Believe that. But I am not at your every beck and call. You know why? Because I'm living my own life too, babe. Period. Yeah, Cam, that wasn't it. Wasn't it? Yikes.
And eviscerated him. So to recap, Newton believes women should cook, be quiet, cater to their husband's every need, and not be a boss chick, which Newton appears to think is something bad. Newton didn't say that's the type of woman he wants for a wife or partner. He said that's what he believes a woman should be. And women who don't act like that aren't acting as a woman should, wrote Yahoo. If Newton were currently the starting quarterback of an NFL team, he'd take plenty of heat, justifiably, for these outdated views regarding gender roles and obligations. These comments will serve only to make it harder for Newton to get a roster spot on any NFL team, especially at a time when 6 attorneys general have put the league on notice that the NFL must start treating women differently than it has. Many women who work in sports voiced their displeasure with Cam's comments, as well as they should, of course. Stacey Dales, a longtime NFL media member, wrote, "True colors always reveal themselves time and again. I prefer to keep negativity off my feed, but this is disgusting. No need to be quiet here." After Cam dropped the "women don't know when to be quiet" line, The Athletic's Nicole Auerbach used his own logic against him. Tabitha Lipkin of NBC-LX, through shade of her own, sounds like it's my turn to sound off about men who can't pass or win a Super Bowl. The women who fought for equal rights and access to birth control in the 60s and 70s were fighting against the expectation that they had to get married, bear children, cook all the meals, stay quiet, and cater to their husband's every need. In the decades since, women have largely rejected that view of what they should be, replacing it with the idea that women can be anything they want to be, including a traditional housewife. And the practice of letting the man lead a hetero relationship has also fallen by the wayside in favor of both parties leading and making decisions together as equal partners. It's blatantly obvious that Newton has not expanded his very narrow idea of what a woman should be in the 5 years since he told a room full of reporters that the concept of a female writer made him laugh. You'd think that after being lambasted for the females asking questions about Routs' funny incident, Newton would have learned to keep his opinions about a woman's place to himself. That seems like it's harder to do than simply understanding that there are as many different types of womanhood as there are women on this planet, but he hasn't seemed to absorb that lesson either.